Hi, it's Rochelle Jackson. I came on the other night and really screwed up my broadcast, so I thought I'd try it again. Um, Welcome. I am your health and wellness coach, focusing on non toxic lifestyle and how to rid your life of those harmful chemicals, toxins, carcinogens, all the stuff that we don't even know is hiding around us. So, I wanted to delve into school supplies. But before I do that, if you're watching live, please give me a hashtag live and your name and where you're dialing in from. And then if you're watching this on the replay, hashtag replay, your name and where you're tuning in from so that I might be able to share some additional information if necessary. Um, so here we are, all those school supplies, right? We got, um, my story is I have 3 lists. They didn't all come in at the same time. About 3 weeks before school started, I proudly stated to my husband, I'm done with school supplies. Everything's labeled, everything's ready to go, and they're already in their backpacks. I'm done. And he was like, wow, that's amazing. Then I had another list roll in, if you will. Welcome. And if you're joining, please hashtag live. Tell us where you're joining from. And if you're on the replay, hashtag replay and tell us where you're joining from as well. So that second list came in. It wasn't that bad. It was from the gifted teacher. We're blessed enough to have gifted children. So that second list came in. And I thought, okay, well, maybe I missed something. And then there was a text message chain that went around with a couple moms, and we were discussing the supply list. And they said, did the supply list change? And I said, what? Did it change? No, I haven't seen a change. Well, lo and behold, I got a new supply list. And what all of this comes down to is that we have an enormous outspending of money on school supplies and demand for specific branding, specific requests for things that are just not what I remember when I went to school. So, one thing I wanted to share was how do we help to keep our school supplies non toxic? Um, and the reason for that is I've suddenly lost my list of comments. The reason for that is because um, we're we're sending our kids to school more than they're spending hours at home if they're in sports, especially. So, I think when it's seemingly out of control, what do we do? Well, when we're shopping for school supplies, there are steps we can take. Um, Making sure that we are buying packing containers or plastics that have a 2, a 4, or a 1, a 2, a 4, or a 5, and that do not have BPA um, in the plastic. So those are some big um, spoiler alerts, right? Obviously, we don't want to have polyvinyl chloride in our children's lunches. But we're asked to provide polyvinyl chloride binders, if you will, and 12 of them at that. So what I suggest in this situation is if you are not comfortable sending in those plasticky folders, is to buy some really nice paper folders that will hold up and to just request that we would use those instead. There are some that are coated. Now you have to be careful with what they're coated with, but definitely making sure that your purchases of your school supplies are free from PVC, BPA, phthalates, and fragrances. And you would be shocked. So you go and you buy your kid those colored pencils that are smensels, right? Because they're fun. But that fragrance is inducing toxins. It's an endocrine disruptor. It's a reproductive disruptor to their systems. Mr. Sketch markers, personal favorite, but it is anything with the fragrance is going to cause a challenge for our kids as they grow up. They can certainly cause cancers and reproductive health concerns. And here's a very shocking discovery: behavior and attention problems. Now, have we ever made that connection before? We have. Again, if you're joining, please hashtag live in the comments and your name, where you're joining from. If you're on the replay, hashtag replay, your name, and also where you're joining from. So I went through a little bit of how to ensure our lunch containers are non-toxic. Making sure they're free of PVC, of BPA, of phthalates, and of I'm missing my third my well, I'll move forward and I'll think of it. The additional thing is making sure that, or you can try new things. There are cotton lunch bags out there. You can sew a cotton lunch bag, and it's so simple. And line it with organic material, and it's 100% safe. Using BPA-free plastics. I know the bent go boxes are really great about this. Or just using stainless steel. These are becoming all the rage as well. I mean, we used it as kids in the actual lunch boxes. I think it was tin back then, but just making sure we don't have the BPA in our aluminum or in our plastic. So when it comes to other school supplies, let's think about markers. Markers such as Crayola are truly non-toxic in a sense. If you ate them, if you smelled them, you are not going to suffer massive, horrible effects. Now, what will happen is every year you're asked to provide 2 boxes of 8 to 10 count markers, 2 boxes of 24 count colored pencils, and in my case, 4 to 6 boxes of 24 count crayons. What are they doing with this? I'm not getting that much artwork at home. I'm not even getting that much color at home. I'm getting pencils. I was asked to provide 2 boxes of pencils. And they were supposed to be Ticonderoga, but I broke the mold on that and bought Stadlers because Stadlers were non-toxic. So, funny point, but markers you want to avoid have solvents in them. The Sharpies, highlighters, there are alternatives for these. So please, when I'm making these recommendations, understand there are absolutely alternatives for these. Uli is a brand that has alternatives. There are colored pencils that are made from recycled newspaper that are magnificent out there. But we want to avoid those things that kids are sniffing. Those are the harmful solvents that we want to make sure are not getting into our lives. Now, when it comes to the next items, tape and glue. Tape is a necessary evil. There are tapes out there that are made from recycled material, post-consumer waste. If you can, buying those will definitely help in the process. The shocking thing that I found in my research is that the most recommended school supply that was non-toxic is a good old glue stick. Clear, white, or yellow. Not purple, not color changing. Clear, white, or yellow glue sticks. They are safe. You can feel good about that one. That wasn't what was on my list. I had the purple disappearing ink requested. And I know you did too. So there is nothing wrong with bucking the system on that and getting a clear, a yellow, or a white glue stick. There are just so many options out there that we feel we're tied to because it's on the list and it says we have to get that specific brand. I'm not saying that you should go against what your teacher's recommendations are. But one of the other things are we get a lot of requests for the things that are necessary, sanitary supplies like Lysol wipes and tissues and gallon baggies and sandwich baggies and reams of paper and hole punched paper. Those are choices we can make that can remove toxins by buying post-consumer used materials. We can make sure that we're not using Lysol wipes. We're using, because first of all, Lysol wipes have to sit wet on the surface for 4 minutes in order to disinfect it. That means you have to have the surface wet continually for 4 minutes in order for it to kill the germs. That you don't do that. After that, you have to wipe that area down and clean it again because it's toxic to your child. Now, you can read the instructions on the Lysol bottle, and I swear to God, this is what they say. I opt to use Thieves essential oil infused wipes. Yeah, it costs a little bit more, but I know that when they wipe my kid's desk, the one-time wipe that it's getting is actually cleaning the desk. And that they're not having to sit there for 4 minutes and clean every space because that's not happening. The important part of that is, they ask for disinfectant wipes and just provide what you can find that's the most safe as far as killing MRSA, staph, pneumococcal viruses, strains. Hospital grade cleaners are available in Thieves brand. They're essential oils. They are absolutely cleaners. Providing this is a great idea. Providing tissues that are post-consumer and recycled, non-bleached tissues will help keep toxins away from your child. I mean, they're up in their face, they're on their skin. The ones with fragrance and lotion are so harmful for your child, and it's going directly to the brain. So when you're buying those Puffs Plus with lotion, you got to think twice about the fact that you're literally directly shooting toxins and chemicals straight into the brain of your child. Not to mention, I've seen what they do with tissues at school. Most of the time, they're not actually used as tissues. They're used, to clean up a spill or to, do a spit wad or whatnot. So using an organic, unbleached tissue is perfectly fine. If your child's nose becomes chapped because the classroom has unbleached tissues, you can send your own pack of tissues that you're comfortable with, that possibly has some soothing essential oils on them. Tissue paper, not tissue paper, that's the wrong word. Paper towels, same thing. Unbleached, organic paper. These are really important. When it comes down to paper consumer products, just making sure that you've chosen a recycled paper made from post-consumer waste that's not whitened with chlorine bleach, and it's really actually readily available right now. So it's not something that you're going to have to search high and low for. So we've covered a lot. We've covered the school list that keeps coming and what the heck do you do with it? How do you manage it? Taking control and making decisions based on, my son just walked in, so I'm sure we'll have some interruption here. Making decisions based on the toxicity of the product is critical. So the step that I can leave you with is make those little steps, purchasing PVC free, BPA free, phthalate free, fragrance free, chlorine bleach free, recycled post-consumer waste papers, using things that are stainless steel or have the recycled marks of 1, 2, 4, or 5. These are the things that you can do to make a difference in reducing toxins in the classrooms. Not necessarily the most popular choices, but there's no need for us to provide scented markers, things that are going to have solvents in them that can create endocrine disruptors, reproductive disruptors, and eventually lead to cancer when they've been exposed too much. And then the famous Lysol wipes. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Read your labels. Read the label. If it says you have to clean something for 4 minutes in order to clean it, they should just be using soap and water. At the end of the day, that's what I have to share with you. So I'm sorry, Noel, please give me a minute. What I hope that you can take away from this is that school supplies, we all face them. I think we probably spent $500 in school supplies this year, and it's a necessary evil. We want to support our teachers and give them all they need to grow and help our kids grow. But let's make smart purchases that don't introduce toxins into the classrooms. If you have questions about this or are having concerns about something you may have sent in and want to chat, you can leave me a message. Just hashtag your name, where you've dialed in from, and I can reach out to you, or you can leave the question straight in the comment box, or you can certainly just private message me and we can talk. Finally, you can visit my website at nontoxiclifestyle.com and book a consultation. It's free, and it gives you the availability to just have an hour of my time, and no charge, to talk about anything that's on your mind from a toxic level. So I'm saying, go forth into the school year, be prosperous, and I hope your kids do better than mine, who's lurking in the corner, who you can see. Um, no, my kids are doing great. But when you're thinking about school supplies, please make a conscious effort to save our kids' endocrine systems, reproductive systems, and to keep them cancer free. With all love and gratitude and peace I can give, I'm Rochelle Jackson, signing off and saying, we'll see you